All right, guys. We got Hero in the bottom right side of the map, and he's playing as Solar in the bottom left, who's had his expansion blocked, but he was expecting it. Had his drone down here early, saw the probe coming, and is gone out. This is the upper bracket finals, the Monday Night Weeklies, number 8. And I'm just excited, guys. We have gone from just a few days ago, me reading a few comments, people going, I'm sick of TVP. It's Clem vs. Hero or Max Pax vs. Clem every week. This sucks. All your videos are just Protoss and Terran. Where are the Zergs? Where are the Zergs? And I'm like, okay. Guess what? Turns out Solar here having a fantastic run this week and crushing so many people. Of course, we might get the fabled kind of rematch system. It's only a best of 3. This is the upper bracket finals, but whoever loses this could make it through to the losers bracket, which is only best of 1, and we could see a rematch in the grand finals, which would be a best of 3. And if the guy from the winners bracket wins, game over. Whereas if the guy from the losers bracket wins, it activates the final third best of 3. So this is the potential triple best of 3 format that I've been enjoying casting for the Monday Night Weeklies. We've done a few of Clem vs. Hero. If you guys saw the epic Clem vs. Hero, 3 best of 3s, which we happened, I think, twice that happened. But yeah, be cool if we get to see that. Either way, I'm just happy Solar's doing well. I know this one's not a Zerg vs. Terran, and people specifically saying they want more Zerg vs. Terran on the channel. Was reminding people I do try to cover like the best highest level tournament games, a lot of semis, a lot of finals, or just like really big names clashing in big important matches, and there's just not that many Zerg vs. Terrans going on. But it's cool to see a guy like Solar after a big break during the off season start grinding and really already showing results very quickly after that. And whilst he's not facing a Terran in the finals, that's because he already took all the Terrans out of the tournament. So good results for him. Probably already put those up on YouTube, I would imagine, by the time I'm casting this one, or the time you're seeing this. Hopefully I do my scheduling in the right order. I won't spoil who played who anyway. It's the finals. I mean, if I put it up in the wrong order, you're going to know that Solar beat those guys to get here, but it is what it is. Depth shading forwards. Gonna see what damage you can find. Pig, why don't you stream on YouTube? Question we get a bit. It's kind of awkward splitting the communities up. I think it's better for streaming to keep your community all in one place. It's awkward trying to manage different things. I see a lot of people say, oh no, spread your word out, get your name out. I look at those channels and they have 3 different chats going on their screen at once, which is kind of confusing. And even if you join them together, people are like, oh, I can't even see all the messages there. And they realize, oh, we're in different chats. It just gets a bit awkward to communicate. It's easy to miss things. And there are different rules for how the ads play on different platforms and stuff. So it's just kind of a bit awkward to manage it all, and it just splits your viewership up. I think it could be good, but I've heard a lot of big creators say it's actually a bad idea. A few say it's the best idea. Oh yeah, just put your word out there, put your stream out. It also does use more resources, which when you're using an older game like StarCraft that already is incredibly CPU intensive, can lead to a little bit lower performance in the games. Nice adepts around. That was really good for Solar, guys. I mean, I might reevaluate it at some point, but I tried streaming to YouTube a bunch of times, and I didn't really see much advantage to it. And I also had problems getting the software that's meant to join your stream chats together. It just wouldn't work for me. Like, bugged out and was really hard to troubleshoot, so is what it is. But for now, Twitch is the place. It does have the best kind of community management tools and stuff like that as well. As much as Twitch has some very dumb stuff it does, so does YouTube. Oracle not finding anything just yet. That's the first Oracle. Remember, Void Ray first opening. Forge Twilight's on the way at about 4.5 minutes. Just going to clear the creep for now. Go for the safe damage. Leaving the Oracle out, though. Hero. It's going to slow down him regenerating his shields. Second Oracle does arrive. And this is a full wall off, by the way, guys. It doesn't look like he was planning to do this initially, but going straight for the gold base. It's an ambitious ploy. Will it pay off? 4 gas blink off the gold is pretty nice. Solar, I like that he's going for this standard base. I think a lot of Zergs go for the southern bases, but it gives the Protoss such an easy push path. Whereas now, where does the Protoss push with Stalkers? Does he just go up this avenue? I feel like counterattacking around could be good. That being said, I would say there's one thing I'd be a little critical of for Solar, and he hasn't opened up the minerals in the middle. So I do want to see him sneak a drone over there. Speaking of sneaking drones over, guys, Void Ray just killed a drone trying to take a 4th base. I'd like to see him sneak a drone to the middle and open this up. You just need a single mineral trip. It'll open it up in one go, and that can allow you to flood down the bottom or rotate between the top and the bottom. So if he's pushing down here with Stalkers, you can flood through, go straight for the gold base. Oh, don't tell me he gets this again. You're kidding me. I think he could have committed. Oh, Hero, what are we doing? Oh, it's a trap! The Void Ray twerks up there, baits the queens out of position. They cannot transfuse off creep, ladies and gentlemen. But, oh, going a bit deep is Hero. Is it going to pay off? Does lose an Oracle? Yeah, one Oracle goes down, one deep in the red. Gets himself 2 queens, though. So I'd say arguably that's not bad. It's probably pretty worth it. Dark is so greedy, he's not going to rebuild his queens. Most players would rebuild their queens, but he's like, screw this, dude. I'm going quick Hydras. I'm going to use those to shoot up. I don't need anything else now. You can see the Lings here. He's like, oh, damn, I kind of want to harass this base, but he doesn't have a drone there. Finally, he's bringing a drone forward. If Hero realizes that, with the Oracle, he could maybe snipe the drone or the Void Ray, but they're not in position as we speak. One Oracle is there. Void Ray cleans up another Zergling, and finally, Solar opening up the middle. Solar, not Dark. Sorry, did I say Dark? As I was just casting Dark versus Hero before, so all Zerg players are Dark in my brain now. Obviously, this is Solar. It's Minsu, not Park Ryu. I'm trying to remember Dark's name. Park Ryu? I'm bad at remembering their actual human names. I call them by their other names. So Minsu Kang, I believe, is Solar's name. Hero is... Ooh. I think I should know Heroes because I send him so much prize money, so I see his actual name on his PayPal account. Trying to remember it right now. Yun Hojo? I don't know. I'm probably getting them all wrong. Apologies for butchering their names, guys. What can I say? For the longest time, I swear I didn't even know their names at all. I was just like, Solar's his human name, isn't it? Alright, Void Ray. Lings are going to pull back to the top right. 3 more cannons building. 4 bases up for Hero. I mean, Hero's feeling good with 4 base. Yeah, you've only got 6 gases, but do you really need 8 gas? I don't think so. I think 6 gas is fine. He's going to try... 5th base? Guys, it's a 5th base before 8 minutes off 3 High Templar, a Void Ray, 11 Stalkers, and 2 Oracles. Guys, there's stupid, and then there's what Hero's doing right now. What are you even thinking? I guess he thinks there's a hive. There's no hive. If you spot an early hive and a lurker den and everything, sure. Double Evo chamber, maybe. But in this game, this is insanity. He has 9 gateways. He's trying to warp in a few more Stalkers, but my lord, the greed knows no bounds. Hero is actually insane. Lingbane Hydra timing coming in. It's the perfect choice to attack right now. He's got to watch out for those storms, though. Those Banes need to spread. Those Lings might need to spread as well. Bane's getting into the mineral line. Didn't evacuate his probes. Hero already losing 7 workers. The Hydras, though, I think they need to get forward. These buildings buying a lot of time. The Ling Bane kind of rolling in ahead, and the Hydra's eating big storms. Big fight there. But, oh, even with a few good storms, there's not much behind it. There's only 1 or 2 storms left. Energy recharge going to be ready soon, but it's not ready just right now. And Solar is going, how the heck are you this greedy, mate? You have nothing. Hero building a 5th Nexus before 8 minutes. There is greed, and there is what Hero tried in this game. Solar is not a big fan of rushing Hive Tech Lurkers. I know he's been doing it a little bit more recently, but to do this against someone that's not Serral seems like complete insanity. Even against Serral, I'd call this insane. Serral does a lot of mid-game timings. He's one of the greedier Zergs out there who likes to play late game way more than the other Zergs. Solar is famous for doing mid-game timing attacks. So to do it against him, I'm like, what? This is like doing this against Shin. It's almost the same level of like, you know this guy's going to try and kill you in the mid-game. You should never be super greedy past 60, 70 workers against him. But Solar just smashing. And Hero, dude, I just can't get over this decision. That's insanity. Guys, rate me in the comments out of 10. How insane is the choice of building a 5th base at 745? Like, in this matchup, I can't even, for me, it's like a 69 out of 10. Jeez, that's crazy. This guy farms online tournaments, and he does really well in the big tournaments as well. Hero is up there with Dark as one of the more consistent farmers of online tournaments that still does very well at the big LAN ones as well. Chases the drone and then turns around. Solar goes to 17 supply, but heads this drone across the map. And, oh, look at the probe. It's trying to hide. Oh, Solar wants that expansion so badly, but it's already been delayed a long, long time. 58-second hatchery, very awkward. Is he going to try and hatchery block, guys? It looks like he is. Dark normally is the one that does this. Hero's used to it, so he sends an early probe down. Solar might have thought, well, I never do this, so you won't expect it. But it's like, dude, Hero plays against Dark 7 times a day. And Dark does this every single time his hatchery gets blocked. So I think this was really smart. Hero sends the second probe down, shuts it out. And that's one of those things, those adjustments you should be doing. I noticed Max Packs didn't make this adjustment with pulling the second probe against Dark when they played recently, but you really always should. Now, guys, you can block them taking a gas if you stand next to it, which is what they were both doing. The probe was blocking him. He was blocking the probe. But now he's going to build the gas when he gets 75 minerals, this hero. There we go. 75 minerals. Gas goes down. Drone getting chased. Very nice opening for both sides. Probe took a little bit of damage, but you can see its shields are regenerating. So he's going to go down and see if he can be a bit more annoying. Solar's a big fan of rotating those drones in and out to just keep tagging the probe. Stop its shields from regenning. Stop it from being as annoying as it would like to be. All right, Queen starts up. The Overlord and the Natural very delayed, which means a bit of a delay on the next Queen and the 4 Zerglings. He does mine a few minerals. Here, careful to not retreat through the mineral line. Doesn't want to lose that probe. Stargate's on the way as well. Hero got a bit carried away with that last game. I mean, so the cool thing about having the gold base as the third is it gives you more minerals, right? So here's Hero's thought process. I have more minerals. I should be able to afford a Nexus and otherwise just play a nice safe build because I'm using the mineral boost that I get. The advantage goes into the Nexus and the Pylon on the 5th. That's just bonus minerals. So I'm still playing as safe as I would with any other Stalker into Cannon Storm build because that's just bonus minerals. Problem is, I mean, you've still gone, you know, it's like 80 probes, was it? It was a lot of workers. It was a lot of workers. And I think if you instead spend that on a few more cannons, a few more cannons, like cannons pair up so nicely with Storm defense because just for their cost, it's consistent long range damage, 7 range on a cannon. Stalker's only 6 range. Stalkers, more importantly, shoot at about half the speed of a cannon, maybe slightly less than half, and do less damage. So cannon's just really good. 2-shot Banes, 2-shot Zerglings, 5-shot Hydralisks. In terms of, for 150 minerals, just an amazing amount of damage. And the fact that they don't cost gas, which you're spending all your High Templar, you know, chewing up all your gas on those, that's why it's so nice. Now, the Adepts are hanging out here. They haven't really dove for damage just yet. I love the safe tumor on the bottom side where he knows they're not watching. And the Adepts do cancel at the last second. Oracle's going to rotate. Spore's not ready. He's got a window. 3 seconds to get in before that Spore's finished. Look at this guy's Spore. It's 4 seconds from finishing as it hits the mineral line. Oh, the Adept spotted how late that Spore was. And Hero finds damage. Solar caught with his pants down. 4 drones. Just a bit too greedy and pulling those queens out of position a little too much. Now, he's moving to his third. Here's something I've really noticed is don't go to your third straight away, but escort your drones over there. Because this area here is where you're most vulnerable. And there's an Adept literally just standing on creep. And that's crazy that he's just standing there. Hero does get surrounded, but he should shade out just before it dies. Oh no, dies a second. Fraction of a second before shading out. 2 more gateways in the north. Okay, so this is very standard follow-up. Hero's just like, double Oracle into Blink. Easy peasy. This is all I need to do. I'm so good at this. Gets a few creep tumors. Gets himself a drone. And, ooh, nice extractor trick. Good handling by Solar. Very good handling. Really nice. So has he gone 2 spores, 6 queens? Okay, so solid anti-air defense. The problem is he lost those 4 drones to the first Oracle. That's the big mistake, which is why it was not that clean. But other than that, since that moment, it's been good. Oracle on station at home means he can't really do any damage. And how early do we go for a 4th? Is it Lair Roach Warren for Solar? Roaches against the Blink follow-up. Not something we usually enjoy as Zerg players. Fighting with slow Roaches against Blink Stalker Oracle on your doorstep. It's a little bit like trying to fight off... I don't know. I'm thinking like... say like a UFC champion's high on drugs and is broken into your house and is trying to maul you. It's trying to fight him off with like a broom. You can do it. You better be really good at your broom staff skills. Like I'm telling you, you better have mad skills. Like, yeah. Maybe develop them. Hunting wolverines in Alaska with your uncle? I don't know. Nice stasis trap on those drones. Zergling's gonna go after the stalkers. They will pull back. Ooh! Oracle's gonna pull around. Nice stasis trap to deny the 5th from getting taken here. Stalker's coming forward. Roaches and Lings are building with Roach speed. Is Solar just going to do a maxed out Roach Ravager Ling all in? I think so. Question is, does he ever get a chance to do it? Because he's about to get hit by Stalkers. I don't know if he gets a chance to really do his thing. 6-gate Stalker coming forward. Charge is already on the way. Hero a little slow to saturate that third. It's 6.5 minutes and his third's not full of probes, which is a little late for Protoss. Stalkers come forward. Nice blink in. Zergling Queen coming forward. Lovely set off of the stasis trap. Dude, Solar's looking good, man. Ooh, I like that the Lings immediately go to counter, but remember, Roach Ling. Roach speed's not quite done yet. Ravagers would be good. Ooh, does surround a Stalker. Forces it to blink back. Great micro for Hero so far, though. Those Stalkers have all been clicked on an individual Stalker. Meanwhile, Queen Roach Ravager fighting over here. Looks like that one Stalker, I think, did go down. But the Roach Ravager Ling is taking big losses, down 500 resources. And that is costly. The Biles will hold back the Stalkers. One thing I've noticed with Solar's Bile usage is he stacks them on top of each other a lot of the time, throws them all at once. I think you're better off throwing them one at a time, just creating a sort of no-go zone, a punishment for Hero to move in. But you want to always have one Bile active to make it hard for Hero to push in. You don't want to throw them all at once. But a lot of pros spam them out with rapid fire to be APM efficient. I actually think you want to be a little APM inefficient in these scenarios. As a Baneling Nest comes in, wow. Solar's going to try to play Ravager Ling Bane. It is possible. I've seen Solar do it recently. It's going to fall off really hard once Storm hits. Oh, he eats a few of his own corrosive piles. That's unfortunate. The Queens eat the stasis trap as well. Roach Ravager Ling trying to dance. Recall goes down, and that is because, of course, the door is open, and welcome to my base. Say hello to my upset face. Hero does recall and handles it quite well. But man, so classic Hero. Leaving the door open. Didn't have a cannon in his main yet. He's up on now 6 gases. Templar Archives begins, as well as 7th, 8th, and 9th gateways. I mean, I think a 4th base for Hero is kind of already a little delayed. I think he looks like he wants to take it out front. Yeah, he's moving forward. He's going to take that one out front of his base. Getting a Robo as well, but Solar's held on so nice. I really didn't think Solar's composition was going to be good, but now he's on 77 workers. Ravager Ling Bane. Is it an ideal comp? No. But with the start he had, the bit of drone damage, not having an early melee or early Hydras to defend the blink, I think he's done an excellent job of it. Really active counterplay. And he's even holding this high ground right now, knowing that Revelation's going to wear off eventually. Ooh, the Zealot counter comes in, though. Interesting mineral line here on Hellscape. Notice there's not a lot of gaps between and space behind the mineral line. Oracles come in behind the top left to take out another drone or two. The Lings and the Roaches have to scramble home to deal with those Zealots. I think at this point, as Solar, you have to keep your army split, and you want to actually have maybe a bigger force on the south, and then send it across. Try to siege Hero's natural. Force him to split his army and only then pull it back to be a bit more defensive. 5th base goes up in the center for Hero and Solar on the same spot, opposite sides of the map. Roach Ravager Zergling. Ooh, Oracles were just standing there. Looked like a tempting corrosive bile target, but I like this. Just the individual bile saying, nope, stay back, stay back. Just kind of warning biles. Zoning him out. Hero's not going to get hit by them if you throw them all at once anyway. If you just keep throwing them, though, you're going to catch him not looking a bit more. Baneling's trying to roll forward. Watch out for that stasis trap on the left side. Looks like that's not really going to take part in this battle. Oh, it does get set off. Baneling's cascading forwards. It's not a clean engagement for the Banelings, but it pushes Hero off the 4th base. You get a cancel. That might be enough. I mean, this really feels like it lacks finesse. But I think he thought, hey, Storm's not done. Let's just go. Now he knows Storm's done. He says, well, at least I got you back to 4 base. Was that a bit too expensive? I don't know. Only 1,500 resources down. I think it's fine. I think Solar's actually fine with this sort of trade. Gotta be careful of those Storms, though. I'd love to see him keep splitting up. Right now, if he can split army around the north and keep rolling into this 3rd, I think he's going to open up a lot of opportunities. But you can tell Solar's kind of got a bit of a one-track mind going right now. It's, I want to kill you now with Ravager Ling Bane. And Hero, this will give him opportunities to land pretty good Storms. Yep, good zoning Storm. I mean, good split on the army to avoid taking too much. Does deny the 4th again. Dude, Solar on the right side denies the 4th again. Dude, if Solar wins this game, I'll be so impressed. I really thought after losing those drones, it'd just be a bit of a sliding kind of, advantage there for Hero. But, oh, you can't be forcing one angle, though. This is, yeah, Solar needs to split it up, guys. He needs to keep it split up. He's got Banelings rolling around that side. That's really going to help him. If he can get those Banelings over into that mineral line, I think that gives him a lot of opportunities. Solar's playing a little bit all in right now. I think he's got room to transition lurkers right now, and that'll give him a great spot. But he's playing the way Solar loves playing. That is with a brick in his hand and his opponent's face in his sights. He is staring at his face going, I'm going to hit you in the face with a brick. Ravager Ling Bane way too clumped right now. He's got to unclump. He's got to unclump. He's eating massive storms. Beautiful Baneling run by, but his main army engagement was not as clean as he would have liked. He's getting blinked on and chased backwards. You can see he's thrown away maybe a few too many units. Lovely Biles there to zone the army. Only 12 probes went down. I thought that would be a lot worse. I do think Zerglings rather than Banelings are actually more efficient. Banelings are better in the frontal fight. Lings are better on the counterattack. Because Banelings on their own struggle to finish off these weak units. And if they catch like a few units warping in like this, Lings can just kill these, right? Banelings cannot really ever be efficient in these scenarios because they always have to suicide to get those kills and finish them off. Does get 11 more probes though, so it's still good damage for Solar, but he's got to defend the counter roll in. He is forcing Hero's hand. Hero is all in. Hero has about 7 Storms there, maybe 6, 5 High Templar, 15 Stalkers, 5 Archons, 4 Immortals. It's all about the next engagement for Solar. Solar has got to be really careful with how he takes this one. The Lings continue to counterattack, but look at that. The Zealots actually clean those up. Ravager Ling Bane attacking down a ramp, but he gets 2 Archons. If he can get that 3rd Archon, that would be massive. Click it. Oh, nice. Ravagers with their 6 range doing so well. The Stalkers are going to YOLO it. Crazy dive for Hero. Massive Biles for Solar, but there's still more Storms. There's still more Storms. Solar has to give up ground. I think he has to give up more ground. The Banelings come in for a fight. Can they get rid of the High Templar? The High Templar barely survive. Archon's morphing. Solar needs to back off, but he's going to tap out. Oh, his trades are a bit too inefficient. And a Hero with the counter all in. How does Hero always do this? Every time Solar looks like he's beating Hero, Hero makes these sick counter all-in comebacks with no economy and just beats him. Hero does this sort of stuff way too much, and I think it was the right call to leave. Are you really going to overwhelm 4 Archons, 4 Immortals, 3 Archons, 3 Stalkers, and 8 Zealots with what? 8 Roaches and 10 Lings popping out. These guys are all about to die. His queens are... He's got 4 queens, but nah, they don't have a lot of energy. I'm pretty sure he is dead here. I think that's not an early leave. It's just Solar going, yep, once again, I kill Hero's entire economy. Look at that. He's got no probes in the main even. Doesn't matter. Hero with that big scary army gets the win. All right, guys. Hero in the top left of Whispers of Gold. Solar in the bottom right. And, man, I always talk about how when these two play, Solar's so good at getting ahead. But Hero's so good at winning. And it feels like so often it slips away from Solar. And you know what? I was saying he should like transition lurkers, maybe not be quite so desperate to finish things off. It's hard to do that. And it might have actually made it worse for him. Because if he didn't push so hard, he wouldn't have found so much damage. And then he might have got caught halfway to the lurker transition, but not quite there. That being said, if you have Hydras, just the basic damage of the Hydras, especially if you're spreading them out in a bigger arc, defending on creep against the Archons and the Immortals, and you're spread. When you're defending, it's not that hard to defend against Storm on creep with Hydra. With Roach Ravager, you just don't have that much consistent damage output. And the Banelings, of course, really struggle to connect in super meaningful ways. If he got rid of those High Templar a bit earlier with a Baneling flank, I do think Solar might have been able to do it. So maybe he should have given up more ground and set up more of a, pull back, set up a perfect surround, come in from multiple angles, blow those High Templar up faster, and maybe he does it, but Hero a bit too good, bit too decisive with how he shoves across the map. And he is, by the way, guys, doing a no scout opening. Very greedy, but he's going to get away with it in game 3. Hey, Pig, I see some pros using the extractor trick and others use the 16, 18, 17. What is the better opening? Yeah, it's the 15 Overlord. So you meant to do an extractor trick into 15 Overlord, and then you still do the 16 hatchery, 18 gas, 17 pool. That is objectively better. Lambo did a little video about it, breaking it down. Someone was asking me the other day during Pigfest, they said, when are the pros going to start doing this? The Korean pro gamers. And I kind of said, well, never. There's just not as much crossover between build sharing these days between the Koreans and foreigners. And yeah, Shin already was doing like a 14 Overlord a lot of the time, so a very similar build, sometimes a 15 Overlord. Before Lambo did that video, so it's Shin who kind of invented it, but no one really trusts Shin. Shin is one of those players who... I get the feeling, I haven't really asked the other players, I get the feeling the other pros kind of look down on him because they think he's bad. And I think he is mechanically not as gifted. And I think to make up for that, he has much better builds and planning in his series, and they should all be copying him. But they don't, because he's not as good as them. You know? I don't know. This is my feeling. My feeling is the other pros think Shin's like not good enough to be worth copying, but I'm like, it's the guys that are worse than you that are absolutely worse, like worth copying. Like maybe he's not as clutch in multitasking situations. Maybe he's not as good in the macro reactive game, but man, his planning is next level. So, you know, Lambo actually did study Shin's opening, but Shin had messed up the execution a little bit. And that's why he misjudged it years ago when he first looked at it. And he thought, oh no, Shin's build's bad. This is dumb. And then he took another look at it and realized that he just looked at replays where Shin had made a few basic errors on his execution and that it actually was more efficient. So it's kind of funny. It's fascinating to see how that comes out. Now, Stalker first into Oracle. This is going to allow him to get rid of that Overlord real early by flying the Oracle. The Overlord will fly over. The Oracle will spot the high ground. And you can see why is he over here? It's because this is a directional sight blocker. So if he stands here, say here with the Stalker, you won't be able to see this area behind the pillar. So the Overlord could fly off to the right and then go north. Hide up here in the dead space before the Oracle arrives. But good positioning by Hero. I just watched a Shin replay where he did a double extractor trick. That was definitely a Shin special. Rarely worth it in a standard macro game, but there are situations where that can be good. Double Adept coming forward after the Stalker. Nexus up nice and quick. Chronoing that second Oracle real early. Crisp opening here for Hero. Solar's going to have to show some really good defense. Sporing the naturals up. The Queen's there, though. Gotta say, these Queens coming over for the Oracle. 3 Queens are out there. 2 Adepts shading forward. Where are the Lings? 14 Lings are building. They're not out yet. Oh, gosh. Solar. Great Evo Chamber block. Does lose a drone anyway. The Adepts reaching across that. But as the Lings come out, they should be able to deal with this. Oracle gets a lot of hits on it from the Queens. The Adepts, though, going to find one more drone. The Lings were chasing the shade. They did not expect these Adepts to continue. And one more. Nice focus fire for Hero. 3 drones. Oracle comes in from behind the natural. Not a good stasis, though. Cancel. Hero, you got to cancel that, bud. Ooh, but he goes for it like the mad lad he is. Does get a bit of freeze time, but he takes a lot of hit points of damage. A very brave stasis trap. Normally, if they're hitting you the moment you start it, you cancel that bad boy immediately. Hero made of sterner stuff. It's often a fine line between having a sort of cavalier, cocky attitude in StarCraft and throwing your armies away for no reason. Hero toes that line perfectly. 3 drones go down. Oracles. Oh, there's damage! 7 more workers! Sorry, Solar. Oh, I thought you were showing us better openings than we've seen from like Dark against Hero recently, but it's so hard. I remember the first time in like the last maybe 8 months ago I played against Hero, and I hadn't played against him in a long time, and it felt like the new maps and that the meta had evolved. And I remember just the feeling of playing early games EVP against Hero after never playing against someone like that. Whereas like there's an Oracle here, and my Queens move to deal with it like up here, and then the Oracle comes in from that side, and my Queens move back, and then the other Oracle comes back in from that side. Then there's Adepts here, but then they're shading into my third, and I was just like, oh my god, I feel like I'm just having my head smashed around like inside like a rolling. It's like I'm in a cement mixing truck, you know? You just like, you're getting rolled around. You're like, what the hell? And you're drowning in this. You just feels like there's too much. It's hard to keep up with, man. Maybe inside a washing machine or like a drying machine is a better example. He's very good at his multi-prong as Hero. He just feels it out. It's not consistent in that he doesn't have like predictable patterns. He kind of just feels his way through and sees what opens up. He's like, yeah, maybe I'll try from here. Maybe I'll try from here this game. It's just always hitting multiple angles and sensing where you might be weak. It's very intuitive. It's another Queen freeze and 2 drone freeze. And he gets another 3. 4 drones! Solar taking way too much damage, guys! And look at how greedy Hero is being. He's like, yeah, I'm going to just go straight Storm Charge. Or maybe Archon Charge, actually. Oh, he's going to play Archon Charge Immortal this time. Now, he tries to kill his own probe. I think that's because he was supply blocked? Sorry, that was a very confusing interaction. I think he just wanted to start the Observer. He's going to start a cannon as well. We've got Mass Roach on the way for Solar. It looks like Solar is kind of committing to just Mass Roach Ravager. Maybe he does like a Queen Walk. I don't see that doing very well if the Immortal count grows. But right now, Hero's going Zealot Archon. Zealot Archon is not good into Roach Ravager. Solar massing Roach Ravager at the right time. There's a Phoenix building, which because he thinks it might be Spire. Oh, Hero can't figure out what's happening. Okay, so Hero doesn't know what's going on in this game right now. He's like, Is it Hydras? Is it Mutas? What's going on? I'll get Storm. I'll go Phoenix in case it's Mutas, but he doesn't know what's happening in this game, and he's building multiple Phoenix that are worthless versus Roach Ravager Queen. Storm, always a helpful ability, but he needs Immortal production more than anything, and his first one has only started now at 7.5 minutes. And Stalkers are really good at holding Queen Walk builds. Zealots, not so much, because once there's a big blob of Queen Roach, mass phalanx of ranged units, your Zealots are going to charge in and just wash up on that big ball. They're not going to be able to get, you know, unless you have overwhelming melee units with a surround, the range units can stutter step. They can shoot, they can pull back, they can shoot, they can pull back. Oracle's defending the Zerglings up north. No shade on Shin, by the way, guys. I've always said Shin's the people's Zerg, and that he's amazing. He does so much clever stuff, and we should all study him. Oracle there doing good. Nice Storm on the Queens. Oh, good Ravager Biles. Very well done. Very good Storms, though. Gotta watch out. Gotta watch out. The Zealots are gonna eat a bunch of their own Storm. Massive Storms. I think Hero needs to pull back a little more. Be a little more defensive. Let the Immortals fight, and then when the Roach Ravager runs forward, that's when you land the Storms. Energy recharge is about 30 seconds out. Great Storms, but he's used them all up, which means it's just Immortal, Archons, and Zealots. Now, if you can counterattack with Zealots, it's a bit better than fighting front on. Nice. Biles coming down, breaking all the stasis traps. Good play here by Solar. Ravager pops out of the cocoon, goes down immediately, and I think Hero's going to be able to overwhelm this now. Got to watch out for those Biles. Dodges them perfectly. 3 Archons, 2 Immortals, and a Dream. The creep up front, though. Archon goes down. Prism Micro not being used to save those units. Energy recharge is now available in 1 second, guys. He's going to be able to fill that up. There we go. Where is it? Where is it? He's been chronoing so hard, I don't think he has energy. He's not using energy for Storm right now. Uh-oh, Archon goes down, the Immortal goes down. Another Immortal goes down. Finally, the energy recharge comes down, but it's a little bit too little too late. If he had that Storm when Solar first ran forward, this would be an entirely different fight, but Solar pounces with the swiftness of a man who loves to crash bricks into the skulls of Protoss players. Solar Cat's in there, and he catches him at a weak point. He's going to take down the Robo as well. That Immortal will not pop out. Yes, the Archon finishes morphing, but the Ravager's trying to start a step away. The Queen's here doing very well against this. The Probe's being forced off the line. I cannot believe Solar broke it after this early game. It was a disaster of an early game. But Solar was not just trained with the brick. He was born with a brick in his hands. A brick of Roaches, Ravagers, and Queens. He has been doing variations of a Queen Walk with Roach, Ravager, Queen, Zergling all in for 5 years. It has been his most used build order, and it is just something he feels so natural with, man. So natural. Phoenix flying past. He's going to try and Zealot counter right now. High Templar trying to defend, but he doesn't have the Storms. Now he recharges. Storm just hitting 4 Roaches with no damage support. It's not going to be enough. The Zealot's getting wrecked, and Solar goes for a very simple strategy on one of the best aggressive maps, and one has to wonder if Zealots was the right call. Blink is always the safer play. It is the more standard play, and that is a big surprise upset. Solar taking down Hero in the upper bracket finals. All right, guys. Guess what? Hero won the losers bracket, so we are indeed getting an extended series here. Hero going into the grand finals from the losers bracket, Solar from the upper bracket. So it is another best of 3. If Solar wins this, it's game over. If Hero wins, he'll have to win another best of 3. He'll activate a third one if he wins. And oh, that probe's too late again. Oh wait, that's because it's Overlord into 14 hatchery. Oh, this is not a good build. Yeah, it's okay. It's just Solar's worst version, because I get he wants to get the hatchery down. There's a better build order. So if you want to get this hatchery down at this time, you can actually get it down like 4 seconds earlier with 2 more drones out. Or one more drone, I should say. So if you go 15, you go Extractor Trick to drone up to 15, and then send a drone down to expand before Overlord, it actually puts you quite far ahead of this build while getting the hatchery started even earlier. So if Hero sent one of his very first probes across, he still wouldn't be able to get it down on pretty much any map. I do think that's better because you have an extra drone mining earlier, and it ends up getting more lava out of your natural earlier as well. I haven't benchmarked the difference between this one, but I've heard from people I trust, some of those European macro virgin Zergs, that this Overlord on like 13 Overlord, drone up to 14 or 14. I think he did 14 Overlord Solar. Hopefully he did 14 Overlord. It would be better if it's 14, but I think he was doing 13 Overlord into 14 supply hatchery. It's quite inefficient, apparently. Then again, I still think it's way better than getting your natural blocked. And if they send a probe across like Hero did, I think Hero's still feeling pretty bad about this. So, I mean, I'm splitting hairs between different Zerg options to achieve the same goal. And either way, the goal was achieved. The probe could not block the expansion, and Solar is going to be playing with a much more comfortable natural. Probe dances around. Solar rotates back onto mining. Meanwhile, looks like a Chrono Adept, maybe? Ooh, Stargate before Adept. Look at that, guys. Stargate before Adept. Really prioritizing getting out the Oracle and not even chronoing. Look at that. He's just chronoing probes. So Hero playing super economic, super defensive. Part of the reason for that is you got a ramp here. Hard to poke in and out, hard to stop the creep. And just to poke into that natural is quite difficult. In general as well, we know that Protoss can actually keep up with Zerg economically. And if you just focus on probes, Oracles, and getting that third Nexus up, you'll be doing really well. 4 Lings, always enough to clear a pylon. Hero was just hoping Solar was being greedy and only built 2 Lings that game. Solar playing safe. You guys can help out the new players in the chat asking questions. Yes, this is a rematch now in the grand finals. That was the upper bracket finals before this. Hero won the losers bracket. We are jumping straight to the grand finals now. Losers bracket only a best of 1 here in the Monday Night Weekly. Truly is a last life sort of situation. Those best of 1s are brutal, man. Hero's been doing especially well at eliminating max packs from those losers brackets. Best of 1 format seeming to do well for him. Dept gets a Zergling, shades backwards. Link speed is done. Hopefully Solar has a bit of a cleaner early game defense of the Oracle. But wait, it's a Void Ray. Never mind. He already got himself 1 Overlord. This Overlord's not running away. Uh-oh. Solar. That's a magnet right there. He's going to leave it rather close to the front. I'm surprised by that. You can see the other Overlords are pulling back, but I think he can keep it alive. With the Queen's already attacking the Void Ray, it should be fine. Void Ray is going to bypass this. This is a classic Hero move. Being a little bit dangerous with his Void Ray placement. Doesn't find the damage, though. Oracle comes in from the left, finds the transfer. Oh, he's going to get one. I like the reactive Roach Horn. You need a Roach Horn about this time anyway, and it saves the drone. It's actually a twofer. Solar uses a building he needed anyway to save a drone. 2 drones going down, though. Still a good moment, I would say, for Hero. We'll see the Creep Tumor spread. Void Ray in the middle. Going to deflect these Zerglings. Solar's got to be cautious. He knows about the third, right? He does not. Okay. He needs to see that as Resonating Glaives and 3 more gateways coming in. Oh, 4 gate glaives. Very good build right now. Solar did show before, though. He's happy to play Roach and even Ravager Ling Bane. It's not like Dark and these other guys that always rush to Hydras. Beautiful Adept positioning to protect that probe. That was slick by Hero. Yeah, we see a lot of Groundhog Day series, guys, where it's like, you know, we've had a few of Hero Clan best of 3 into best of 3 into best of 3, all packaged into one video. I know it's a little bit confusing. Maybe I should edit a scoreboard on the side after the first series, but I've been too lazy to do it. Probably like a deaf viewer watching with the auto-generated YouTube captions. I'm hoping it's translating what I'm saying correctly with the auto-gen captions. Fingers crossed. Oh, the Adepts are going to catch a lot of these Lings. Solar. Dude, does he have any Roaches? Not a single Roach out. He's only building 4. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Queens are going to get jumped on. I mean, transfuses are only going to keep you alive so long. Oh, my. This is bad. This is bad. Solar starting to lose his Queens. They're dropping like flies. Already 3 Queens and a pack of Zerglings have gone down. The Adepts are going to try and shade in here. Does he focus the Spore? No, he's just going to back away and try to maintain the pressure. He's already into Blink, +1, Robo, 2 more Gateways, which will take him to 6 Gateways. 4th base taking damage. Does he shade? Nope, he cancels. We've got an Oracle there. 4 more Adepts ready to shade into that base. I don't think losing the 4th hatchery is the end of the world. See how it goes. Oracle's going to fight with these Adepts. That's 1 Roach going down. The Adept almost falls. Oh, the Adept's trading pretty darn well. Really creating a nuisance for themselves. And the Lings will go down as well. Does want to focus that creep tumor. Void Ray joins up. Oracle and Void Ray adding their firepower from the skies. The Adepts are going to shade it to the natural. Oh, the wall! The wall! He moved the Spore out of the natural wall off. The Roaches aren't fighting. They're all stuck on move command. Solar with a delayed response. The Adepts were on his third, distracting him at the same time, killing even more workers. Oh no, those Roaches were all stuck. They were trying to move somewhere else, but they couldn't move through the Adepts. The Adepts finally go down, but there's still 4 Adepts on this right side as well. Solar is deep in Doo-Doo Town. He's up the creek without a paddle. He's going to have to get his hands dirty in that murky, murky water. The Adepts there cancelling shade at the last second. Void Ray staying active on the left side. Double Oracles there as well. Should back off from this. Hero looking for more damage. Does back away from that one at the right time. 7th and 8th Gateway comes down. Blinking +1 almost ready. Robo Bay coming in. Wants to do a Colossus Stalker build. Nice choice. And more drones in the open. Oracle's having a party, man. Solar is having a bad game 1 in this Grand Finals rematch. Oh, but no Spore on that base either. Damn, Hero. Oh, Hero is just absolutely having fun. Solar's got to be steaming at this point. Whereas Hero, no doubt, a big grin on his face. Nothing more fun than just flying around in circles, finding damage here, there, and everywhere. Stalker, Adept, Immortal coming forward. Void Ray as well. Hatchery's taking some damage. Adepts trying to shade forwards. Stalker, Void Ray, and Immortal doing what they can. The Void Ray does take down the Queen. Oh, piles across the front line. Void Ray goes down, but it doesn't matter. There is way too much stuff. Soul is like, yeah, this is not the start I was looking for. Oracles did pretty well with the Void Ray dancing around, and then you just add that first Glaive Adept wave. He was just caught with his pants down. Had no idea that was coming. Was a bit too greedy. Great game 1 here for Hero. All right, guys, that was a fantastic game 1 for Hero, kind of dominating there. And he's going to go now into Hellscape against Solar in the bottom left side of the map. Pylon on the natural, right on time on 14. Question, do we see a no scout? Gas first? Maybe? No. It does not look like it. He has another probe queued up, which means he's going to go for the Gateway. Gate Scout is a bit of a virgin build, not my favorite, but I think he's going to do it this game. Doesn't want to risk getting 12 pulled, I guess. I'm going to see the hatchery. Sorry, you might be on. It's not an insult when I say virgin, guys. Just the 2 styles we talk about in the StarCraft community in a kind of silly way is the European macro virgin. Basically a guy who doesn't have a lot of social activities going on or different romantic interests, has a lot of time to practice like the hardest, best macro-focused reactive style of StarCraft. And then there's your low-effort Chad all-in player who just does random cheesy stuff because they don't have time to practice the hard builds, so they've got to just do clever builds to catch their opponents off guard. With the gate first, it's kind of conservative. This isn't the best way to obstruct your opponent. All you get to do is harass the minerals a little bit. You can't block the hatchery. So, a more extreme player would either just not scout at all, or they would go for a much earlier scout to block the hatchery and really disrupt the Zerg's opening. But Hero, just going middle of the road in this one. It's kind of weird, because normally he is more extreme as a player, but he's recently added this into the repertoire. I think, like, Zound does this every single game, basically. Showtime does this every single game, the Gate Scout. It's not bad. It's just a little less sharp. Probes dancing around. Circling. The drone continuing to follow it. Solar's just like, leave, dude. These are my minerals, man. Let me mine. Second gas, fully mining now. Kira pulling off onto the second gas as well. He loves that gas count. And just continuing to be annoying. Hero's probe. #1 most annoying probe in the entire world. He knows the Lings are about to pop. Knows his timing just right. By 2 minutes 20, you want to have left the creep area. Because that's when the Zerglings are going to be on ya. Sees the drone moving out. Does he try to block the third base? He's heading in that direction to at least confirm it goes down. What? The Lings chase him away. Stargate coming up right now. First Adept heads forward. Second Adept on the way. It is rallied across as well. Third hatchery goes north. On this map, you can take a 4th up here. It gets 3 gold minerals. And if you open these minerals up, there's like a little path through here. I don't really know the purpose of these minerals. It doesn't seem super specific. It's just, hey, there's minerals here. If you open them up, you open them up. Otherwise, tanks might be able to sit behind that and siege you. But in the Zergverse Protoss, not an area we'll probably see utilized too heavily, though I guess Stalkers could blink behind it. Pig, which unit do you prefer to scout with? Whatever one I have. It's... I mean, I don't know. What's the cheapest unit to scout with? A changeling? It's free, right? Changelings are free, probably changelings. Doesn't matter if you lose it. Hallucinations as well. Oracle heads forward. 2 gates there. Second Oracle's on the way. A lot of scouting is just about getting map vision as well. You know, you don't need to just do designated scouting. Just being active on the map scouts for you. If you're harassing your opponent, you'll scout. And that's the bigger power of the Adept Oracle. It's part of why Alpha Star was so good with Protoss, is because it would play Oracle Adept opening every game and get a ton of information while doing damage to its opponent. I was asking because you're talking about hero scouting with the probe. We're talking about the probe scout timing. That's all. So we're talking about if you scout after the gateway, you're not able to block the hatchery, right? So if you were going to scout, why not go a bit earlier, sacrifice a little bit more mining, but at least obstruct their hatchery. That's the whole point there. Standard scout times for PvZ is your probe, if you want to go for it, then your adept, then your oracle, and adept pressure, which kind of maintain vision for the rest of the game with these oracles if you keep them alive. 2 more drones go down in the main. Gets a 3rd? Oh, tricky. Hero, you nifty little boy. I say he's like almost as old as I am. Hero's kind of ancient as pro gamers go. I think he's like 32, 33 now, right? Shouldn't really be calling someone only a few years younger than me a little boy. I don't know, it was just cheeky. It was cheeky, you know? Lair does start up. Looks like Solar might want to rush Hydras this game. I think he does need to mix that sort of stuff in, right? We saw a really good Hydra Bane timing on El Dorado before. Got 6 Adepts here. Oracle on the front, 2 Oracles in the back as well. So this is kind of a distraction. You have to watch out for those 2 Oracles in the back. Does get one of the tumors. Second one goes down, pulls back. Oracle takes a bit of damage. I'm keeping an eye on that minimap. Those Oracles still waiting here. Haven't quite shifted in just yet, though. Forge Twilight comes in. 3rd and 4th gas. Rallying to the 3rd. Equal workers on both sides as the Oracles come in. Grab another 2 drones. Nice play. How many workers kills? 3 kills, 4 kills across those 2 Oracles. 3rd one doesn't have any damage yet, but these Adepts are still active on the front. Just continuing to clear up the creep and limit the Zerg map vision. So annoying for Solar to deal with. Hydroden goes down, Baneley Nest as well. Hydroden gets spotted. Did he just announce the Hydroden? I think he did. Oof. I mean, I guess he could have guessed anyway, but usually you don't want to give that information away because if they don't see it, they might think Spire. You know, he might be more worried about Mutalisks. Build some Phoenix. With Blink on the way, unlikely he'll get that response unless he sees a Spire, but still worth keeping your opponent in the dark a little bit. And this Hydroden, bit too easy to see. Zergling Scout gets cleaned up. Blink Stalker's coming to the front. Oracles, oh no! Oracle goes down. Hero, a little sloppy there. I love the Overlord dropping creep to try and get the creep a bit further forward to make up for the delays. But there's just no time. The Oracle Stalker is already here. And we are going to see an Overlord go down. Creep Tumor goes down. I do want to see him revelate this Creep Tumor because I think that's going to be a big boost to Solar in this scenario. And these Adepts are just going to keep canceling the Shades. Oh, what? Dude, he's crazy. He commits in. The Hydras quickly try to get back there. The Adepts are going to go down at the same time. Lings are in the natural. 9 probes go down. Of course his door's open. Every single game he plays, he does not know how to leave his door up. He loses another 6 probes in the main base. He goes back to the natural. You are kidding me. Hero. Oh my lord. This man grew up in a small country town where if someone came to your front door and it was locked, they were like, disgusting. What, do you not trust your neighbors? It's like, it's that level of like, he's gone from the most like town of 25 people live in this town and they're all best friends, sister cousins. And then he goes and he moves into New York, into like the crappiest area, and people are just going in and stealing stuff all the time, but he refuses to lock his door. He's like, I'm not going to let you break me down. I have faith in people and their emotions, and I think sharing is beautiful. And I'm like, you know what's not beautiful? Letting your children get stabbed in their bed. Sorry, I know probes aren't technically children, they're robots, but you should protect them. They're your workers. They give you economy. Harness your greedy billionaire mindset, man. Harness that, at least. They give you money. Sentry warp in would be nice. He doesn't get it, though. Warping in a few Zealots. Ling, Bane, Hydra. Who needs Baneling speed? Hydras will pop the Guardian Shield. A beautiful Hydra timing for Solar. I feel like Solar losing his 4th should have been in a disastrous position. But killing 13 probes with his run-bys. He has a powerful Hydra army, and it's looking really good for him. He busts through a gateway in the wall. Can he get into the natural or the 3rd? I think he might want to collapse his whole army in one direction. 5 more Stalkers warp in, but the Cybercore's gone, which means only Zealot warp-ins now. No Cybercore rebuilding. Hero, 1,000 minerals in the bank. He's got no Cybercore. He's not rebuilding it. What is he doing right now? He's building a Robo base. Still not rebuilding the Cybercore. Just building a gateway. But he's not warping in right now. I don't think he realizes the Cybercore went down. He now warps in the Zealots. But it's a little bit too little too late. That Cybercore should have been rebuilding 20 seconds ago. He should have started it before it even died, really. The Stalker's getting pushed back, and you can see here, Stalkers in the bottom getting overrun by the Hydras. Up in the top side, Banelings crashing into the mineral line, getting rid of a few of these probes. The Hydras, they're getting overrun in the bottom, but the Lings come in and actually, no, it's the Stalkers that get overrun. The probes running to the Robo, trying to hide behind that. But an Immortal is not going to counter this army, not at all. You could see just a handful of Stalkers. Doesn't matter how well you micro them. This is too much Hydra Ling. And Solar taking way too much damage to those run-bys. GG, well played. Solar ties up the series 1-1. All right, guys, that was a bit of a crazy one for Hero there, leaving the door open. And he says, well, it's El Dorado. I know Zergs hate to get blocked on this map, so let's go for it. And once again, it is going to be an 13 Overlord into potentially 14 Hatchery. But that probe comes in so early, he can't get it up. He has to send a drone to his 3rd base. So he's going to build those 2 more workers. It's going to end up being 16 Hatchery on the 3rd. Oh, 17 Hatchery even. Oh, he'd like to get his expansion up, maybe? No, it is 17 Hatchery. It's odd that he chose to go 17 instead of 16. Usually, if you're not going to get blocked, 16 is better. Allows your spawning pool to time out with your hatchery nicely, so you can get the double queen 4 Zergling started a few seconds earlier. Because the hatchery unsupply blocks you. Why were there slow banelings in that last game? Yeah, maybe worried about Zealots or something, but I don't think he really needed them. They would have helped blow up any cannons or batteries as well, or any probe pool. Not that pulling probes into Hydra Ling is very effective. Both very high damage units on their own, even without the Banelings. Low damage units like Stalkers and Marauders that struggle with worker pools. Nexus starts up. Roaches as well struggle with worker pools. So Nexus into Cybercore here. They're as happy to have disrupted Solar's opening, but it does slow him down on the mineral count. It's a good map for Tempest. We don't really see the Tempest Rush openings anymore. I feel like the pros must have just gotten so good at sniffing those out. But I thought people got pretty good at disguising them. Like, they would take a fast 3rd and then go for 2 to 4 Tempests and then just play a normal game after. I don't know. I do like those builds. I think maybe Protoss players sleeping on them at the moment. 4 Zerglings, 2 Queens on the way. Zergling speed should start up right now. Very nice. Means it'll finish just before the 3:30 mark. On this map, I don't mind a player expanding along the bottom as Protoss. So I wouldn't mind Hero full walling with his Stargate. Builds it in the main. You can do it with the 2nd gateway. But mining open these gold minerals. Go for the gold minerals again. Why not take the gold mineral 3rd again? I think that would be a good idea. It's a bit more exposed to getting pushed by Zerg, but I don't know if that matters. If you don't take a 5th base on the bottom straight away like a crazy greedy person, I think you can get away with it. What's up, Perkle, in the chat? Yeah, stop gambling, dude. Get out of there. Gambling dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, help Perkle in the chat with their gambling addiction. You guys should try to gamble not with money. I like to gamble in video games. More fun. Less downsides. The only way to make gambling with money really fun and give you that rush is you need to gamble more money than you're willing to lose. And the first rule of gambling is never gamble more money than you're willing to lose. But the general rule is if you basically, to get the proper rush, it needs to be enough money to excite you, and that for most people, ends up being the same amount of money that they're not willing to lose. Let's borrow someone else's money, dude. Oh, dude, Hero, what are we doing? Leaves his adepts in the open. Oh, Solar gets through to one of them. Oh, that probe blocking nicely. But good wraparound. 2 adepts and a pylon. This is huge. Where the heck is the Oracle guy? Oracle went and got 2 drones. But second Oracle has to defend. At least he doesn't lose the 3rd base. The Oracle does make up for it a little bit with the damage, but great start for Solar. Very nicely done. Remember, guys, if Solar wins this series, it's lights out. Hero's gone. And the series will end right here. But it all comes down to what the follow-up is for both sides. 3rd and 4th gas. Twilight and Forge will go down soon. Goes for the Twilight first. Doesn't start the Forge just yet. Another 3 drones go down. That's 5 kill Oracle now. We've seen this a lot. A lot of players leaving that 3rd mineral line open. And oh, the Adepts are going to shade in. Big moment. Big moment. You're going to need to drill into the corner with those drones if you want to get on top of those. Either drill onto them or drill away. He drills away. I don't know, man. I think fighting with the drones was the better call. I think they were kind of in a prime position for him to go for a drilly surround. Ling's finally going to clean up, but 10 workers going down. Solar gets an excellent surround and then just takes so much damage, and it totally cancels out the great start that he had. He's now going to be able to go to Lair, try to head towards Hydras. It is Blink, not Glaive Adepts or Charge, so he'll be able to survive and drag this out, but he's going to be playing from an inferior position, and he did already win a game from an inferior position. We saw that on Whispers of Gold with the big Roach Ravager max. I don't know if he's going to catch Heroes sleeping with that sort of build again, though. He's actually going to go Roach Warren as well. I think it's just a safety Roach Warren. I still think he'll go Hydras. I doubt he plays Ling Bane here. Ravager Ling Bane, very unlikely. Hydra Ling Bane, maybe. Ooh, oh, not again. Every time he runs his Lings across, the Adepts come in. Oh, this is a trap. We all fall into this as Zerg players, guys. I've done this so many times against top players where you shut down some Adepts. You go, oh no, I took some damage. I need to get one back on him. You run over, you try to dart in. You maybe get a probe, you feel good about yourself, and you look back and you realize 2 Adepts have just shaded in and your Lings are on the wrong side of the map. You cannot move all your Lings across the map without risking this. Every time you move your Lings across the map in this matchup, there is always the risk there's 2 Adepts hiding off on the side somewhere, ready to come in and punish you. And if you've got no Lings at home, it is a nightmare. They do so much damage. And that is 20 total workers killed. A disastrous start. You might think units lost. It's not that bad. It's still very bad. Don't get me wrong. You've traded a lot as Hero. You've lost 7 Adepts. You've lost an Oracle. This is not free. But this gives you such a good start into this. And he's now coming forward with 6 Gate Blink, Forge on the way. He's going to start pushing back the creep. And actually, oh, we're doing a 60 probe. Okay, guys, he stopped 61 probes. He's going to go build a pylon, build a gateway at the front. This is going to be an 8 Gate Blink attack. He's got Charge coming in behind it. Oracles. Oh, they're going to get the probe. Okay. Well, time to pivot. Change plan. He should take a 4th base, 2 gases, and a Templar Archives right now. Let's see how Hero reacts. Does he just pull another probe? Stalkers and Oracles on the front, dancing with the Queens. Lings, forcing some Stalkers at home. Double gas goes down. Stalkers on the front still being active, which is great. I mean, Hero's finding good damage, but he's not able to go all in. Without a forward warp in point, you know, it's going to be way too delayed. I do think he should look for a 4th in the top left at the same time, as well as some tech. Bile takes out his own Creep Tumor. Unfortunate there for Solar. He's trying to defend with Mass Roach Ravager and +1. Last time he was behind a Whispers of Gold, he went for the Roach Max. This time, it's Roach Hydra, survive, and then try to tech into Hive, maybe. Hero is famous for impaling himself upon his opponent's strongest defenses. So there's a chance, if you just make Roach Hydra, he may just shove up that ramp and throw his army away. I wouldn't count on it, though. It's not a great situation to count on your opponent throwing their army up a ramp into a meat grinder. You can see Hero here, still great Blink Micro-Ephem as he heads to the top left to take a 4th base. Hydras with Groove Spine starting to be built here. None of them on the front just yet. The Biles, gonna have to keep spacing these out. Just one at a time, I think, is the best way to do these Biles. But you can see he keeps throwing them on top of each other. Bad habit there. Does actually land one of the Biles. But yeah, you want to keep throwing these Biles just one at a time to create little no-go punishment zones for Hero. The problem is you can't be throwing them all at once and then giving him a window where he's got nothing to worry about. 4th Nexus goes in the top left. Still no Templar Archives. Hero's still just playing Gateway Man right now. Mass Stalker. Templar Archives finally starts at 8.5 minutes. It's rather late. Maybe with a good defensive engagement. Solar can get a good fight and then spring to action. Well, no units there. I'm surprised Hero resisted the urge to blink forward. That's exactly the sort of situation where Hero wants to blink forward, seeing a few queens out of position. Beautiful blink back micro for him. Picking off a few roaches. Oracle's revelating, trying to pull back. The Roach Ravager Hydra doing what they can. The Stalker's pursuing. And dude, this trading's got to be nasty. Yeah, 1,600 resources in favor of Hero. Zealots in the top left find the hatchery. Stalkers on the front. This man's going to do it with Stalker Zealot. His gateway gets denied. He wasn't really able to commit to this strategy, but it doesn't matter. He already had 6 gates non-stop warping in. The Stalkers blinking forward. The Zealots in the top are going to take out the 4th base as well. Does he lose a lot of Stalkers? Yes, he does, but he's done a lot of damage. And behind it, Storm and +2 starts up. Solar, a 3-base Zerg, making Roach Hydra, hanging on by a fingernail. It's not a lot of room for him to breathe in this match. And he's funneled into this rather bad situation. Now, he's building a lot of roaches. Good versus Zealot. So the double Robo goes down for Hero. He realizes if he can add Immortal Storm, he counters this army completely. There'll just be no way for him to lose. 1,200 resources favored in the units lost tab. Hero got a little bit less efficient in that last fight because he committed so hard, but it's also because he dove and denied the base. Which means Solar's stuck on 3 base, trying to rebuild at 4th. Storm is not ready. He's already used energy recharge, has Hero 20-30 seconds ago. I love that. One of the big things I've been critical of is players not preemptively using it. They wait to the last second, use it. But if you use it ahead of time, you can have so much energy banked up. Stalkers blinking forward, Zealots diving, a nonsensical engagement for Hero. There is no reason to attack there before Storm was done, but he did it because he's Hero, and he finds it hard to contain himself. He just loves to fight. He loves to punch. Most people run away from a fight. Hero, you try to fight this man in a pub. As long as it's a StarCraft fight, he's the kind of guy who will take you on. I don't think Hero will fight you in a physical match. But in a StarCraft fight, he really is the drunk guy in the pub who just loves to fight. He'll fight someone twice his size. He'll fight someone half his size. He'll fight 2 dudes at once. He just loves to punch on, win or lose. And you can see the way he loves to engage there. Gets on top of it and does manage to finish this game off. Chat says he might have thought Storm was about to finish. That's the only answer, is that he went off feeling rather than double checking, which a lot of players do. They'll go, oh, I'm pretty sure Storm is done. Normally players have a really good sense for this. If you checked when Storm was halfway done, you have a good idea of when it's finished. But if your adrenaline starts pumping, first thing to go is your perception of time. Time can drag itself out, or things can, like, it's very hard to judge. Did 5 seconds go by? Did 30 seconds go by? Suddenly you can start to get amped up, and your attention is getting pulled to so many different areas that it's very hard to actually judge. And see what happens here. Remember, guys, if Solar wins this game with this last desperate ditch effort, Hero's out of the tournament, and it will be a finals win for Solar. If Hero wins, he's going to have to win another best of 3 as well. Biles coming forward. Only 1 High Templar in the mix, but it's a lot of Immortals and a great Storm to split the army as well. Zealot run by comes in. Nothing to defend at home. And more Storms coming from the high ground. Beautiful play here for Hero. He's got the Immortal Archon count. The Ravager Hydra, it looks like it's doing okay until you realize these units are Immortals. That's right, guys. The elite of the ancient Persian military, a ranged and melee hybrid unit in Civ 6, and they in StarCraft are a unit that just does not die, especially when they're facing with Roach Ravager. Nice play there, and a great transition into the double Robo Immortal for Hero. We're going to be activating the final best of 3 series. All right, guys. Solar wins the upper bracket finals. Hero wins the first series of the grand finals. We are activating the final best of 3. 3 best of 3s in a row. Hero in the top right, Solar in the bottom left. And Solar's had such a good run, but is Hero just going to push it back and go, no, I'm going to win now. I'm going to win anyway because I'm Hero, and I always win. He has such a good history head-to-head against Solar. And it's just crazy to see them head into yet another 3rd best of 3 in a row. I'm going to need, you guys are going to need to remind me at the end, like, hey, Pig, remember to edit numbers. I'll have to put like a series 1 or something. Like, I have to put some like text here. It's like series number 2, series number 3 or something like that, you know, just so people, if they're like looking away from the video and looking back, they're not getting confused. Why are we restarting another best of 3? What's happening? It's going to be Sandworm to start things off, guys. And just remember, praise Shai Halud. But you do need to be wary if you want to ride on the back of your gods. Yeah. can be dangerous. This map especially can be dangerous in Zerg vs Terran, but ZVP, I don't know if we've seen it in ZVP yet. I think it should play reasonably fine. I don't think the areas in the middle are that scary. I mean, don't get me wrong, they'll be annoying to fight Stalkers or Stalker Oracle in with like Zerglings, but I guess just more than anything, you want to see Hydras. Hydras will be the difference maker potentially. Solar, I haven't seen get nearly as adept as Dark at rushing out Hydras. Dark's got really good at that. Probe dancing around, just being a nuisance. Solar does a good job though of pulling on and off. I like that. I think a lot of players really struggle with the worker rest, but if you just keep pulling one of these workers off one of these less efficient patches to intercept, usually you want to pull to the inside of the mineral line to cut off his angle from getting behind the patches. Otherwise he can, while he's running around, do what he just did there. Harass multiple patches like a D-bag. Well played by Hero. All right, looks like Hero, he's got the 3 on each gas. He's going to chrono a probe, and he goes Adept into Stargate at 217. 216 even, very nice. And good timing, no chrono on the Adept. Just going to be chilling out. And 2 Zerglings will split across the map, looking for the probe. It's like, where are you? I know you're around here somewhere, you cheeky little bugger. Where are you? Pig, did you ever get stuck in a certain league while playing, or did you keep improving in StarCraft all the time to GM? Yeah, I was always top league. That's because when I first started playing, Platinum was the highest league. So I instantly got into Platinum League because I'd played a lot of RTS games growing up. And even though I wasn't competitive, I played a lot of Warcraft 3 ladder casually. Played a lot of, 2v2s and 1v1s and screwed around with other games. So I figured things out, the basics very quickly, and everyone was very bad at the start. No one really knew how to play. And then after a while, Diamond came out. And by that point, I'd improved enough to instantly get Diamond. And then Masters eventually came out, and then I'd improved enough to actually be in that. So I was probably timed out nicely that I moved up each league as they were released. Oh, he's gonna get the tumor? Hard to click on that. Well done. It's really hard to click on the tumor because you notice how the queen has a big tail? She's got a big booty. So it's really hard when she's put down a creep tumor and her tail's kind of half sticking over the creep tumor. If you try to right click on it, a lot of the time it'll select the queen and your adept will attack that rather than the tumor. What? He's gonna rush the gold base. Hero, you mad lad, guys. This is joined. They're joined rocks. So if you damage one, they all go down. It does only have one. Oh, it's good. How much damage are we doing? 7 damage a shot. So it's 3 armor, the same as any other debris patch. They haven't changed the armor value. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to kill that. I don't know, man. I feel like, is this gonna actually help? If you're willing to use Oracle Energy to clear it up, yeah. If you're not willing to use Oracle Energy, I don't know if you're going to be able to break those rocks in time. You're going to lose quite a bit of mining time waiting. But there we go. Okay, 2 Stalkers will clear this up a lot faster, so that makes sense. Clears the Overlord on the high ground and then goes for the rocks. Roachhorn's on the way. Whoa! All in, all in, all in. It's 2 gas Roachhorn. He knows Hero's screwing around with rocks, being a silly Billy, being greedy. So he's going to break these rocks with the Lings, and then he's going to move the Queens forward, the Roaches, the Lings, the Ravagers. It's going to be a Roach Ravager, Ling, Queen Walk all in old school. He hasn't done any of these early Queen Walks recently. This is really good to mix things up. But the Oracle's going to come in and see an obvious tell. And immediately, you know what's happening. How at almost 4:45 are there no workers there? That's way too late. He's going to start trying to build cannons, warping in more Stalkers. Pulls the Adept out of the wall with a cheeky little F2 there. Doesn't even put it back in the wall, because it was a bit too far off screen for him to click it all the way. And the Adept, what a song! Hero! Oh my lord, mate. Why do you always do this? I mean, he's not going to take too much damage. The Oracles are right there, but they're using a lot of energy before the fight starts. And even with energy recharge, you are going to run out of energy when you're dealing with this sort of push. This is a lot of energy being wasted, a lot of distraction. He's got 2 cannons coming up, make it 3. Problem is, Ravagers can bio them down, number 1. Number 2, he doesn't have high ground vision if he loses these Oracles. He has no defense on the natural just yet, trying to build a battery. But look at this Solar. He's just going to run around. Oh, he warps in a Stalker to buy time. Oracles are going to come up and try to deal with these Zerglings. These units doing pretty well. The Stalkers and the Adepts, because they've got these cannons to fall back on, just need to not get too far out in front. Those Adepts especially need to be very careful. Oracles, though, helping out massively. And dude, the Bile's all whiff. Dude! I think Solar might have screwed the pooch. The cannon's doing very well. The Oracle's cleaning up so many Zerglings. Those Oracles need to pull south. They need to pull away from the Queens. The Oracle's doing a great job. I think at this point, the Oracles need to go and just intercept the rally. They can't fight anywhere near the Queens, but if they leave their lasers on and stay over here, they can intercept the rally. The Oracles and the Stalkers pull away, giving up the gold base right now is Hero, but he's got Blink and +1 coming in. He's killed so many units with those Oracles and those cannons. It may have worked out. Damn. Let's see how this goes. How many gateways? 4 gateways. He's going to build a second forge. His answer to getting put on 2 base is to build a second forge. Hero, that makes no sense. There is no justification for making a second forge right now. That is drunk man decision making, that is. Oracles fly past. They realize, 1 drone might not be worth turning our lasers on for. I think I probably need to get home and defend. The second forge is not genius. There is no justification. It is so dumb, guys. It's such a dumb choice. The Oracles, the Queens are off creep. They're going to find a Ravager? Okay, they're going to find 1 Ravager, but only 1. They don't get a second one. The Queens will defend that. So here's the whole thought process, guys. If you want to go double upgrades, it's good for a big macro play. You're stuck on 2 base. You cannot do a big macro play on 2 base. This is not a cohesive idea. Dude, the Ravagers tried to run home, but that meant that they didn't have the Queens. Another 2 Ravagers go down. Dude, if Hero wins this anyway, I mean, he absolutely could because he actually killed so much stuff. Yes, Solar's taking a 4th. Solar's only up about 8, 9 workers. 3rd base now starts to rebuild. He's gonna have really well upgraded units. He's trying to build more Oracles. Bit supply block to 0, but he's got more pylons going down. And this is 4 Oracles. Interesting. So if he builds a 5th Oracle, it's actually genius. Get this, guys. He knows how Solar plays StarCraft. We all do. Solar, there is like an 80% chance after that attack, he follows up with the exact same attack after building 20 drones, right? That's how Solar likes to play. He does an all-in, and then he follows up with another slightly, like a big attack, follows up with another big attack just slightly after that, right? Ooh, okay, Oracle's going to pull away. Oracle's going to pull away. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so we got a Robo coming in. Okay, Robo, Blink, +1. Drones are building, though. I think Solar might go Infestation Pit Hydra Den in a moment. I think Solar's actually going to play Lurkers this game. If we see him take these 2 gases... No, he's building more Roaches. Maybe he's just trying to make it look like he wants the gold base, but he's just going to transfer workers from his main there, and that's it. Oracles see some drones transferring down, but I think he realizes that's just a fake. And he knows it's a Roach Max all-in. It's a Roach Max all-in. He knows it's a Roach Max all-in. Like I said, there's an 80% chance Solar's going to do this if you know Solar is a player. So Hero's going to attack into the Roach Max. What? I mean, I guess maybe he can take some good ambush fights, but you don't want to attack into it, surely. Hero scouts that this is a Roach Max off 66 drones, and he decides to attack, guys. Hero's decision-making is out of this world. Okay, if he just runs the sentry away and just does a bit of blink back, this is good. Just blinking off, picking off units without losing anything is good. I thought he was going to commit on creep. Oh, he's going to lose the sentry to a Lynx around. That's cute. Nice little catch there for Solar. Gets a sentry. Lings looking to counter the 3rd base, which is now saturated on minerals, but not on gas. Oracles. All 3 Oracles turn their lasers on. That is a crazy choice. Lings get into the main and the natural, because of course they do. Hero. Guys, you might say he has glaring holes in his game. The most glaring hole being the hole in his wall. But you can't say his games are boring or predictable. I mean... You can say they're predictable in that certain things will happen, like units getting into base, but you never know when it will happen. You never know if it'll be game deciding or not. And here we go, man. Round 2 of Mass Roach Ravager Zergling. The Oracles and the Prism all clumped up. The Stalkers blink forward into the Roach Ravager. Holy crap. What is this control, Hero? F2's like a madman. He blinks into them again. Why would you ever do that? Is he drunk? What's he doing? What is this? He's got disruptors, but they don't one-shot Roaches or Ravagers anymore. Oh my god. This is the funniest hold I've seen in a while. What? If Hero holds on, this is insanity. Wow. Dude, the disruptor shots still, they are damaging the Ravagers, even if they're not killing them. The Robo's getting really low. Solar is still so far ahead in supply. If he can just get these Overlords to drop some creep, If he can get some creep tumors here so he can transfuse, it'll be such a difference maker. The ball's reloaded. He's going to throw it. It's going to land only on a few roaches and queens. The transfuses, so much energy on those queens. And you can see as he's breaching the natural, that's going to be big. Great disruptor shot, though, on those units as they run towards the third base. This is huge if he can overwhelm that, but it's still so close. Disruptor shot on the right side does manage to hit only one roach. And I think, dude, Sola's going to do it. I feel like Hero could have absolutely scrambled together a defense there. But blinking into the Roach Ravager twice while having none of his units organized on control groups in a chaotic moment. I mean, this is just the classic seeing the downfall of not using control groups properly. Normally, we don't see it because Hero's usually the one attacking in the driver's seat. But when he gets caught off guard and he's on the defense in a panicky situation, you see some of the wildest fumbles. That's so funny, man. Good disruptor shots, but just keep in mind, guys, the disruptor has been absolutely nerfed in this matchup. Used to hard counter this sort of build, and it's still good against it. Don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near the power spike that it used to be. I think Hero's going to be a little disappointed with those disruptor shots. Maybe he would have made the comeback if this was the old disruptor, but the new disruptor kind of squished in this matchup rather sadly, and Solo wins this game. I got to rewatch it again, guys. Like, part of me feels like I'm imagining it. Did he actually blink into the Roach Ravager twice? Because that seems like something only a crazy person would do. To be fair, we know Hero's crazy. So everything's just not control group. He just F2'd it to the front. He frantically tries to dodge the biles, loses an observer, almost loses the prism, blinks forward for God knows why. Gets bioed again. And then he says, you know what? I'm going to blink on top of you. Which just seems like madness. This is so crazy. This is so crazy, man. Oh, Hero, the mad lad. GG, well played. Solo takes game one. Well, that was a game of StarCraft, ladies and gentlemen. Hero down a game here. I actually thought he might be able to salvage it, man. That initial Oracle defense with the cannons on the gold was actually so good. And even though he lost the gold, I think there was definitely recovery room there, but just panicked and made a very sloppy fight. Now, Sola does go for the 16 hatchery. He's going to see a probe already there. Oh, yeah, he sees it. Goes for the third base. Ooh. Gonna take the drone over at that third hatchery as the probe pokes over. Gateway out front for Hero. He's got the opening on this side. Cybercore will seal the wall off over there. Chronoing those probes to get as much out as possible. Yeah, big mistakes for Hero in that last game, but it would have been kind of epic to make a comeback after losing the third. It's just so funny in those moments where you can see his army is so disorganized. You can really see Hero's brain going, oh gosh, I've got observers, warp prisms, oracles, and stalkers all on top of each other. What do I prioritize controlling? And there is an argument that because he pulled his whole army to deal with the Zerglings, he wanted to get back in front of the wall off in like kind of a concave. But I think the real answer there is blink behind your natural wall with half your stalkers, defend with, you know, say this is the third base and he's attacking here. You want half your stalkers behind the wall, half your stalkers up here to kind of form a natural concave on two sides. And that's going to do pretty well for you. Listen, Pig, when you're the best in the world in a race with an APM ceiling of 12, you need to find creative ways to challenge yourself. Sometimes that means proxy gateways. Sometimes that means blinking in the wrong direction. Yeah, I mean, obviously trolling there. Obviously Protoss has an insane APM ceiling. I like that Lambo finally pointed that out in clear detail for everyone, because so many people didn't realize that, I think, for a long time. Like, Protoss are so easy, and it's like, the basics of Protoss are easy, right? It's not the you know, like it's very easy to just do the basic base building macro. You grab one worker, build, you know, multiple buildings with it. That's pretty chill, right? There's just a few less clicks. Your buildings are a bit more, your units are a bit more expensive. You don't have to build as many. So there's just less things to hotkey and stuff like that. You know, it's chill. And then you start managing Glaive Adept, Oracle, Multi-Prong, Blink Stalkers, one of the most limitless micro units. You know, it's insane. And it is fascinating because Hero has these moments where he does all those things so well, and then he has other moments where you're like, oh no, it's a fumbly. It's a big fumbly. Zerglings and Queens going to track the Adept into the main base. Haven't seen Solar play Mutalisks in a while. If he'll try to squeeze that out at one point. I think it's hard to get a good enough start against Hero to feel like you can. Hero is just so much better in the early game than pretty much any of the Korean Zergs. I think Raynor sometimes does pretty well against him in the early game. Serral very often does well against him. But I haven't really seen any of the Korean Zergs look vaguely competitive with Hero in the first 5-6 minutes of the game. Feels like Dark, Rogue, Solar, they're almost always all behind against him. Actually, you know what? Solar's the best. Never mind, I take that back. The other guys, Shin is struggling with him recently as well. But I think Solar's probably the best recently in the early game. It's just Solar has more of a knack of getting ahead versus Hero and then losing leads, which is totally like the opposite. The other guys don't have that problem nearly as much. Dark occasionally. Rifle coming in. Oh, goes for the double. Giga Chad Spore gets a shot off. That's a heavily damaged Oracle. Down to 32 life. Second Oracle's out. No third Oracle starting just yet. It's going to be a Forge Twilight. Nicely done. Had to build another pylon here to seal that corner. Otherwise, Zerglings would have been able to squeeze through that diagonal. More Adepts hanging out. It's going to be a 5 Adept double Oracle pressure. No third Oracle at all. And actually only 3 gas. Oh, hello. Ladies and gentlemen. Second Gateway goes down. Are we going to see a old school Gateway Man? When I see 3 gas, I imagine immediately, hey, Gateway Man style. It could just be like a modified charge build where he wants the gas to be there so it's scouted by the Overlord to make it look more like a normal build, even though you're essentially doing a 2-gas charge build. Let's see what the Twilight does. Yeah, it is. Oh, it is. It is a 2-gas charge build. Does he pull off gas in the main? Okay, it's 3 gas for now. Unfortunately, he did trap a probe, guys. He built gateways and trapped a probe, which means he's losing gas mining there. Small mistake for Hero. Let's focus on the Adept Oracle. Hasn't done damage just yet, but he's forced 16 Zerglings out, which is quite a lot of not drones. Sometimes that's what you're looking for with your damage, is just make the Zerg build not drones. Depth shading forwards. 3 more gateways coming up. That will bring it to 5 gate Zealot. Extra Oracle starts up now. I'm still very curious what this plan is for Hero. It doesn't feel like he's committing hard to a Zealot attack, but also he doesn't have a Robo. It just feels very odd. Because he's building more Oracles. I think this is just, he's just going to do an Oracle Zealot poke and then kind of meander his way into a Mortal Storm. Could work out. Steps coming forward. Grabs a few Zerglings. It's so funny, isn't it? Because there's some players, it's so obvious what they're doing minutes ahead if you have full vision. As guys like Hero, you're kind of scratching your chin, even with map pack vision like I have as the caster, going, huh, what's the next step? 2 more gateways. We'll take him to 7 gates. Lings poke in. Lings run away. Hero hitting a bit of a supply block here. 5 Zealots warp in instantly. Here comes the Adepts on the left, Zealots on the right, guys. He's going to look for a cancel on that 4th base. 10 Zealots running across this map. 5 Zealots, 5 Adepts are already here. Zerglings, not good versus these units. Roaches are building. They're on the way, but they're not at the front just yet. He does not want to give up this hatchery, but he might have to. Lings are on top of the Adepts. The Adepts shade in like the mad dogs they are. He needs to move that Queen out of the way. The Lings are all getting trapped. They can't quite get surface area on those. Meanwhile, Roach Queen getting pushed back. The Zealots get on top. The Oracles dive. Hero, large and in charge right now. He loses an Oracle, though. Oh, he pulls back the next one. The Queens have to change targets. The drones here getting eviscerated on this base. Turn to a fine bloody mist as the Adept shade into the natural as well to pick off even more. He's even microing there in the midst of it. More Zealots attack the front. The Roaches and Queens good against Zealots when there's a lot of them in a big ball, especially if they're in a choke point. But right now, they're getting jumped on in small numbers, exposed in the open, and that's 13 workers. Solar says, hurrah, huzzah, I held my 4th base. Back with ye foul Protoss beast into the nether from which ye came. And Hero's like, I killed 13 drones and a ton of Queens and Roaches. I'm fine with this. He's like, I killed 15 drones, 11 Roaches, 4 Queens, 30 Zergs. I'll take it. You can keep your 4th hatchery, mate. I do not care when I've done that much damage. Zealots on the left, Zealots on the right, Roach Queen in the middle with you. It's a problem, man. Oh gosh, oh gosh. This is bad. Hero Solar's trying it all in right now. Hero is just going to dive in on the counter and say, no chance for you to push me. I'm pushing you. Meanwhile, 4 oracles. Oh! Have you guys ever gone to a disco, but instead of laser lights, literally one of those friggin' lasers goes in your eyes and you feel like your retina's about to explode? That is what this Roach Ravager Zergling army, which is now just a Roach army because everything else is dead there, feels like. The Zealots tearing up the drones. Who let machete-wielding psychopaths into the playpen? Apparently Solar did when he moved out with his whole army. Already was on the back foot. A desperate attempt for him to do an all-in, and I love the way Hero stabbed in from both flanks of the map there with the Zealot. Double-pronged counter. Hero ties up the series 1-1. All right, guys. The final deciding map. It has been... Was this 9 maps? Actually, I think Solar 2-0'd the first one, right? Either way, it's like 8 or 9 maps. 3 best-of-3s back-to-back to decide the Monday night weeklies. And it's been rather epic. Hero gets the block there at the last second. Solar feels his heart sink. He goes, oh, man. Just barely got there in time. Now I got to go take a hatchery. It's not too bad on Hero home, but it is what it is. I still can't believe Hero went double forge after the third base going down on Sandworm earlier. That double forge choice. I was just like, what? It's so crazy to go double forge there, guys. Like, it's just so funny because like double forge is like a play you do when you're basically like, I believe wholeheartedly in this situation, I will make it to 4 base and beyond. And we will be fighting a series of engagements over the next 10, 15, 20 minutes to decide this game, and those double upgrades will pay off. I don't know why that one it's just, yeah, Hero just does things that feel right to him in the moment. It's rare to see players experiment in the heat of the moment at this level. They usually experiment in ladder and practice, figure out what works, and then they do that in the tournaments. But Hero just figures things out live in tournaments a lot of the time. Pig, if the attack had hit 30 seconds later on Sandworm, I think the double forge might have worked. Were the upgrades not finished? I wasn't even paying attention to that. I actually think, with or without the upgrades, I think he could have held. If he just positioned his units correctly. Because I think he killed so much Roach Ravager Zergling defending the base and kept his like oracles alive and stuff. I think he actually did a really good job with the initial defense, with the warning that he got. So yeah. Yeah. The upgrades were super close to finishing when the fights went down. Ah, okay. Yeah, I thought they were both done, but I think, yeah, I mean, he definitely was meant to just buy time there anyway. So if he did what he was meant to do with his army, it naturally would have bought time for his upgrades to finish, because you meant to drag these fights out. But, I mean, Hero did that crazy fight on Whispers of Gold, jumping on the army and emptying all of his storms a bit too quickly. Just like, if he just saved one more storm, it would have been a very different situation, because there was that moment when Solar ran forward on Whispers of Gold, focused a few Immortals and Archons down, just before the energy recharge was ready. I think it was the energy recharge had cooled down, but I think he spent too much energy chrono boosting, so he had to wait an extra 5 seconds to get 50 energy on one of his Nexus. Oh, we're going to shade into the main. Brave play. Hero. See what he gets. Ooh, Drone is the biggest value target, but he ends up just getting 2 Zerglings and a Spore Trick. Takes a fair bit of damage doing it as well. Void Ray coming out behind this, as the Zergling's going to chase after you. And, ooh, that's a dead adept. I'm pretty sure that goes down here. I'm going to take 2 more hits. One more. One more. Oh, she shades out. Wow. Counting her lucky stars, she is. She's going to get home. This will be the adept on the wall that dies to like 6 Zerglings attacking it later. Second gateway goes down in the main. Void Ray. Going to dodge the Overlord? No, he's looking for it. Interesting. I thought he'd go across the map, get the Overlord, then double back. I think that's the much better move. No, go do it. Go get the double Overlord. Ah, Hero. Playing conservative. This is an opportunity. Does deny scouting, though. So if you want to do something cheeky like Glaive Adepts, this is the better way to do it. We don't see a Twilight instantly, though. Just a second Oracle after Void Ray. Are Adepts girls? Yeah, I mean, that's what the graphics are. The graphic and the voice seems very feminine, so... They do have boobs. Not like Arnold Schwarzenegger ones, either. They're at least female presenting. Or... Oracle taking a few hitty hits. Gonna pull back over there. We still don't know why Protoss have boobs and nipples, guys, in general. Even the boys have nipples. They do feed through photosynthesis. We're still not really sure on how this whole thing works. Maybe vestigial. vestigial organs thing. Different stages of evolution and all that. Then again, I don't know if they were made through evolution, because I think Protoss were created by the big bad guy, right? Anyways. Oracle's pulling away. Roachhorn comes in as well as the lair. Uh-oh. Oh, not the Adepts. They've given him nightmares this series. But he has Lings nearby. Okay, the Lings are there this time. He hasn't... Solar's learnt his lesson this series about running Lings across the map. He knows not to get caught like that. It's giving him way too much trouble earlier in this series. Alright, Oracle's coming in on the north. Queen going to inject rather than hitting those Oracles. Queen has so little faith in her ability to damage an Oracle single-handedly that she's just like, injecting's more important. Oh, good damage from the Queens, though. Only 2 drones. Those Oracles won't be able to do that move again. Not without risking losing them. Losing the Oracles themselves. 4th hatchery at 550. Solar's done a good job of getting that 4th base down. He hasn't taken a crazy amount of damage. I gotta say, units lost time, you might think, oh, 9 Zerglings, 2 drones, and over. That's not too bad, dude. There's been multiple Adepts in his face. One of the Adepts did dive in and barely escape earlier. And he's got a 4th up. He's up 8 workers. Like, it's past 6 minutes. Hero's 3rd is not fully saturated. Hero is once again gonna warp in Zealots. But with no +1 this time. 9 gate Zealots. It's like this is a crazy number of Zealots. 15 Zealots at 6 minutes. Lings get into the base yet again. 8 Roaches are building though. He seems to realize what's happening. Gathering on the wall. He's got to plug the choke point. The Zealots coming in right now. But right now, Solar's job is to be, you guys know, that hair plug in the shower drain that your wife or your partner left. That you guys know, that big clog of hair where you're like, oh my gosh, it's basically alive. That essentially is this clog of Roaches and Queens. Hero reaching in there with a coat hanger, desperately trying to unclog the drain, but he just does not have the strength to do it. He ends up losing 12 Zealots for just 2 Roaches and a Queen. That is a beautiful hold there for Solar. Every time I'm cleaning the drain, I always think of the ring, man. I'm like, is this the girl from the ring? Am I gonna like pull what's her name out? I feel like it's always hideous. It's so scary. Anyways, Oracle's dancing around here. That's a really big advantage for Solar now, because that was a massive commitment. Remember, he delayed his +1 in his blink, but I think Hero's happy to take risks like this because he just likes to play this kind of hard to nail down style, but Solar's not going to get him the room to bounce back. Solar is going back to what has traditionally given Solar the most success over the last years in StarCraft 2, and it's Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings, and Queens. He just says, you know what? I'm sick of trying to play this Lurker business. I'm sick of trying to play this Hydra business. Back to what has made me the great player, the successful player, what's won me weekly cups in the past, what's won me tournaments, what's won me matches, and that is just mass Roach, Ravager, Zergling, and go, go, go. Adepts in the south, Zealots in the north. The Zealots go for the hatchery, but they don't end up focus firing it. Solar fights with the drones, then pulls off at the right time to distract the Zealots. The Adepts are trying to shade him, but Solar's dealing with it. Dude, Solar only lost 3 drones and a bit of hit points on the hatchery. He's happy to take this damage. There are a lot of sentries, but what's he going to do? He force fields, doesn't even stop to kill the units because he's got to run away from this. And dude, Hero up 65 supply. Yes, a few Lings eat a stasis trap, but that's okay because he is on top of the 3rd base. Hero spent way too much damage, or money I should say, on that Zealot attack. Didn't find the damage with it. The Oracle's on the right side doing really well against those Roaches, but the Biles land! One of the Oracles getting low. Other Biles being used on the force fields. The Oracle's going to start to drift into Queen range. One goes down, another one deep in orange. One of them goes down, another one. All the Oracles are gone. The Stalker's frantically trying to blink back right now. He's going to warp in some Zealots as well, but there is just such a big chasm in the army supply. The Roach Ravager so high. The Lings come forward. The Ravagers with their range and movement speed doing really good. Biles are going to take down that pylon in the back. Does not cancel the warp in, though. It looks like there's another pylon on Reddit points underneath this Overlord here. Finally, that gets clicked on. Goes down, canceling new warp ins on the front. And oh my, Hero gambles in the final game. It gets shut down by Solar. Completely shut down. And he just immediately, swiftly counterattacks. He's been wanting to do it. There was even that game where he took a lot of damage, tried to Roach Ravager Queen on ley lines, and then the Zealots came in from 2 sides. I mean, this is what he wants to do. Shove Roach Ravager Queen and kill his opponent. I remember it was Queen Walk every single game with Roach Ravager for Solar for months in 2021. And he just kept doing it, and I made fun of him. I said, this guy just picks up a brick of Roach Ravager and kills Protoss players because they just couldn't stop it. Max Packs could not stop it. So Australia could not stop it. Showtime, no one could stop the build for over a year. And he stopped doing it for a while, and now he's gone back to different variations of it after shutting down his opponent's aggression. But do not misunderstand, it is shutting down the aggression that was the key. So the question, guys, is how the hell did he know this was happening? As he wins the final third series, wins the first, loses the second, wins the third one, how the hell did he know this was happening? I'm looking at his vision. He see, okay, that's a fake chrono on the third. Does he realize? Or was his macro just so good and this timing just sucked for Hero? I think this timing might have just sucked for Hero. Hero went Void Ray double Oracle. This is not a crisp timing, right? His charge is pretty late. And Solar also here just sees no units at the third. And then he runs up and he's like, well, this is suspicious. And he's like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to make roaches. And that's exactly the right call. So a lot of players would have taken the 6th cast, built a few more drones. I don't know what that black bar was there. But yeah, he says, nope, just build roaches. He pokes back in. I don't think he saw one. Let's see that last poke. He just poked in one more time. Does he see it with this one? Oh, he does it. He even sees it. He even confirmed the move out. Okay, so he confirmed it immediately as well. So he knew exactly what he was playing against. He's just got tons of roaches. As he hits his supply block, it's fine because he's got 4 more overlords about to pop. So he's just so well prepared. Like, really good scouting. Really on point. And it just wasn't the fastest attack. This is an attack where you really need to trick your opponent and surprise them. I think Hero should have warped in a few Stalkers. If I had to point out a mistake, he should have had a few Stalkers at the front or Adepts, actively denying those Zerglings. By giving Solar complete control of the front, Solar was able to sniff out what was happening and counter it really hard. Now, don't get me wrong, it's such a late attack. Maybe if Solar just happened to build Roaches and Queens off 66 drones, he would have responded well enough anyway. But that was just such a good fight, and you know when you're ahead in the units lost first Protoss, you are having an absolute blast of a game. Solar overcomes Hero, and I am so happy to see someone other than Serral from the Zerg camp able to beat Hero here in an extended series of games. Because it's so rare. Hero's dominating Dark. He's dominating, you know, pretty much Rogue and the other guys. Rogue doesn't even stand a chance. Rogue struggles to get past Classics and Skilless and these sort of guys, let alone Hero and Max Pack. So it's nice to see Solar showing that his CVP is very powerful, even if it is focused around Roach Ravager Queen timing attacks. He's had different defense. He had the Hydraling Bane attack on El Dorado, and he's mixing up his timing. Sometimes he's maxed, sometimes he's off 50 drones, 40 drones. The fast Queen Walk on Sandworm we saw earlier. There's enough range that it's not easy to predict exactly when this army is going to come across the map. So really good mixing up from Solar. Absolutely love it. GG, well played.